ordinary breakdancing music. So what made you decide to use that kind of music?
I think you guys can see me better here, right?
Yeah.
There's just no light on me now, right?
No, that's okay.
All right, cool. So for me, the thing is that I don't consider myself a b-boy. I think that there's so many styles of music that people kind of get closed into one word that kind of puts them in a category, you know? And they're like, oh yeah, well that's not hip hop because my dad didn't listen to that when he, you know what I'm saying? So for me, like, I think James Brown is cool, but that's not my generation, and that doesn't represent me. And so I'm always looking for new music that I feel like touches my heart, regardless of what style it fits under a word, you know? And so I think that dance, because of the rhythm and the texture that it has, can really fit with any music if you're inspired by the music and you're a dancer. And so I feel like when I'm filming an event or I'm filming a dancer and I have a song in my head, that I film those dance moves with the intention of being the editor who dances with those moves later to that music that I choose. And so I feel like I'm a dancer, and what you're doing is you're watching me dance when I make that video, even though the person who's really getting showcased are the dancers in the event. And so it's a weird like comparison between the two. And I try to be not in the video as much as possible. I don't want it to be like, you know, me doing like camera effects or like doing too much editing or, you know, like explosions and stuff. Like I just want it to be the essence of what that event was and what that dancer is and what they mean to me and what that song means to me.
So you basically say you being a dancer influences the way you see things and the way you edit, because you say basically you see the visual expression of you as a person, right? Guided by music. Nice. What kind of camera did you use?
When I first came to Europe, the first time I traveled to Europe was in 2009 for Battle of the Year in Germany. Shout out Battle of the Year and everything, you know. So my friend who I actually started Yak Films with, he's obsessed with the newest forms of video and media in general. And so the 7D was a camera that had just come out in the US. I don't think it was available in Europe at the time. And I went to Battle of the Year to watch people who I had seen online for, you know, the last like 5 or 6 years dance. And so the camera that we were using at the time was a 7D. It was a photo camera that did video, so a DSLR for people who know whatever that means. And he filmed it, I edited it, and it went online. And we got a lot of attention from people just for the way that, not only the quality of the videos, and I mean like physically the quality, in that it was HD, and YouTube wasn't even HD at the time. It was like becoming. And then eventually, like, people started to enjoy the content of our videos as well. So I think a lot of the people who watch our videos are not only dancers who like to see, you know, who like to hear dope music and see like a clean ass move, but like filmmakers who are interested in just the visuals of trying to push the limits of how you can show an angle of something that you've seen a million times.
One last question before we watch the next movie. This one is for the both of you. Do you feel you need a different approach on filming when you film dancing? Tony?
So what I feel like you're asking is, do we think we have to do it a different way than most people do?
When you film, you can film a lot of things. You can film a conversation, you can film a boat ride, you can film anything. But do you feel when you film dancing, there's a different approach to your film process? And what is the difference?
For me personally, I don't go too much into what the filmmaking of it is. I just try to, like everyone always says, I try to tell a story, you know, with even just one shot. And in the fact that they're on the paddle boats, I feel like just not even doing too much else and like trying to move the camera around, I just let them dance, and I just set up something that looks interesting. I tell them to turn the boat so that the background continues to move, and it creates a nice contrast from like sharp movements and like a smooth, like floating feeling, you know? And other than that, man, I just let them dance and don't put too much work into trying to show something a different way or, you know, make it too creative. What's more important to me is the concept and what's happening in the video and the editing later.
I think it's a mix of both, because like there is definitely with hip hop dance there is like, I think why we get attention and good reviews on our videos because we know the dance and we also know a bit of filmmaking but I think definitely also the filmmaking side, like all the what can I say, like all the aspect like framing, storyboarding and everything. I think it can just make it better. Like if we use it, I want to get more into that, like pre-production and like plan everything better photography and everything. I think it definitely can put everything better. And this thing mixed to our knowledge of the dance, like we know the good move, we know what is great, and I think this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
And that's why I'm excited, is because I've never had that idea in my head of like trying to, because I never went to film school or anything like that. Like I would just watch dance videos and then wanted to create something myself. And so I've always felt like the greatest aspect of dance in general is the spontaneity and not like taking too much time to think about what's gonna happen and just letting it happen. Like if you watch the video closely, like there's small things that like make a video really interesting to me. Like the kid in the water who like goes underwater but you don't really notice it, you know? Or that there was a whole lot of bugs at the camp. Like there are people here who were at that camp who noted there was hella bugs. And so like just the fact that I'm filming them and they're paddling and dudes like doing this because the bugs are in the way, like little things like that will make me smile, you know? Or like when I first came up with the concept, in my head, just a small thing of, with the song, thinking of them like turning their heads like this to each other. I feel like there's so much power in like the small thing that can happen there. And so those were just the little directions that I did, and after that I just left it to be complete freestyle. If he wants to touch the water, if they want to jump in at the end, it's all up to them, you know? I don't like have a whole like storyboard in my head for it. So I'm glad that there's the two contrasts, because we can't all make a film that's like telling a story of you know, like us fighting over French fries, or it can't be just that I freestyle completely. And so it's a nice contrast between the two. And I'm happy that all of us are filming everything, you know, but that we're getting a chance to showcase dance in the way that I feel like it should be shown, because I see people do it the wrong way like all the time, and like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy. Filmmaking in general, but especially dance filmmaking, you know, because that's my passion. Shout out Jullian. Thanks a lot.
Are there any questions from the room? Okay.
Yeah, it's not really a personal question, but what came up to me is like when you all finished with watching those movies of all your four, is it a good idea for all of you four to connect with each other and make a one short movie together? I don't know, it doesn't matter what kind of concept it is, an idea or something, things that you like or things that you find interesting, and that just for experimenting your skills, your things that you have, and combine it in one and see what's the result. That's more my idea, and I give you both of you compliments for your creativity, and just show how the other side of the world, what they're doing with dance and with their talents and stuff. Just my compliments to you.
Thank you very much, thank you very much. So we have to bundle forces. Oi, next up, we got Jullian. Can you elaborate a little bit on your production?
Hello. So, Life and Freaky Times of Uncle Luke. Can you see me? There. So, Life and Freaky Times of Uncle Luke was filmed in Miami over 3 days. And like I said earlier, it's a reimagination of La Jetée, which is also what 12 Monkeys is based off of, if you've seen that. So it's Uncle Luke from Two Life Crew, and at the time we shot this, he was actually campaigning politically to run for mayor of Dade County, Miami-Dade County. So he would campaign all throughout the day, and then come meet up with us and shoot all night. And it was kind of nuts because it's like a very low budget production, and we were only allowed to sneak into the studio to shoot after hours. Our friend would let us in, so We would shoot from like 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and then clear out and then get back in and hide from all the corporate people. And yeah, it was really fun. And the way this film came together was a commission through an art grant that was given to this production company that I work with in Miami called Borscht Corp or Borscht Films. And it's a series of commissioned short films that end in a film festival that's a free festival for the locals. It's mainly people ages like 15 to 35 come to it. And yeah, the theme for last year's was combinations between local filmmakers and musical acts, and Two Live Crew is like very important in the Miami history, and like booty bass and all that kind of what was like the regional music. So a lot of people use different bands and things, but we couldn't not use Uncle Luke. And he was running for mayor, and he's the shit. And he started like minor league football, and yeah, that's about it.
Thank you. Okay, let's watch the movie.
So it's kind of biographical. It follows his life. Some of it's accurate, and then it gets a little bizarre. Yeah. Then they had like all their battles with the Supreme Court and everything, freedom of speech, and the way that a lot of musicians now and DJs can sample music is because of the court proceedings and different things that they fought for in the Supreme Court.
Thank you. Jullian.